see this collection here, there's loads and loads of different things. You've got embossing folders, you've got dies, you've got paper pads, you've got inks, you've got embellishments, you've got stamps, loads and loads of different things in here. And like Corinne said, they're all those sort of key imagery we think of from fairy stories, fairy tales that we perhaps sort of listened to as a child. Maybe you're telling your children now, maybe you're telling your grandchildren now, all of these different things. They are absolutely beautiful. To show you on the boards what we've got here, we've got loads. Upside down, of course it is. This is You Are Magical die and stamp set. Then we've got, it's very difficult to hold these up. This is a fabulous fountain, and that is absolutely beautiful. You can imagine Cinderella sort of running past here whilst losing her glass slipper. But again, you know, not just for fairy tales, that would make a lovely anniversary card, all sorts of things you could use that for. This next one here is your elegant archway. Again, great for sort of wedding cards, that sort of thing. And this ivy, oops, this ivy die down here, look how pretty that is once it's been cut out. That is really, really lovely. There's a very famous kind of archway and ivy covered swing in London, which is part of the Sanctuary. And I think Joan Collins swung on it in, was it The Stud, the film?
Would have been.
Yeah, something like that. Very pretty. This is your Enchanted Rose folder. That is such a key thing from Beauty and the Beast, which is my niece's favourite Disney film. This one is your Fairy Dust Glitter. My goodness, look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. All of those lovely sort of turquoise colours, pinks.
So it comes in one colour? That's
right.
The single colour, the clear that you've got at the end. I think that's then been put over top of the ink pads to show you how it picks up the different colours.
Oh, yes.
So that one on its own is what you're going to get.
Yep.
And then that's, you know, just to show you how it picks up the iridescent from
It
all
really
the others.
does, doesn't it? I mean, even from here, even from close up, it looks like it's that colour glitter. But you can see there, the ink pads, how those colours look once you put the glitter on the top of them. That's a great product to have there. And then we've got a collection of ribbons in those different widths. You've got sort of pinks, purples and creamy whites. Then we have the embossing folder, which is your glass slipper.
I think it's beautiful.
That is lovely, isn't it? Really, really pretty. You know, you can see that on the bottom of an invitation to a party or a wedding, can't you?
Scrapbook page would look lovely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Then you've got some sentiments here. Every day is a fairy tale. Your sentiments are things like create your own fairy tale. That's really lovely. Create some nice cards for weddings and anniversaries there. Next one here is your Make-A-Wish stamp selection. So you've got your little fairy with those kind of swirls and sparkles there. So again, you know, be able to use those in lots of different places.
Very Tinkerbellish.
It is, very much so. This next one here is your Fairy Tale Kingdom. And it really does look like a fairy tale kingdom with your Cinderella type woman running away after dropping a shoe. Depends. Would I go back for my shoe? Depends what kind of shoe it was, really.
If it looked like that, I probably would.
Would you? Yeah. Or if it was, Jimmy Choo or something like that, I'd run back after it. This next one here is your little Once Upon a Time die set. That is a very, very pretty Once Upon a Time. That really is such an iconic imagery with that kind of swirls on there. We also have this one, which is your princess silhouette with her beautiful
looks
dress.
Gorgeous, doesn't it, with that dress? And you can just see how you're going to be able to put that over things and layer it up. I love how she always looks really chunky when she's in die form, then she just elegantly slims down when you cut her out of cardstock.
You're fat shaming the dies. This next one here is your fairy tale carriage. Very much like the kind of, you could do that in gold, couldn't you, for the coronation.
Now, what you can't see on the pink one too clearly, it's a cut and embossed die.
Right.
So cut it once.
Yep.
And then run it through again on your embossing mat, and then it pushes the paper up into all those little gaps, and then you can ink through it, and we're going to do that.
Very, very nice. Then we have this one here, which is your Happily Ever After, your prince and your princess dancing, very pretty too. We also have upside down. This is your Once Upon a Time Ditzy Blooms. So again, if you've been watching the flower show earlier on today, you can see how to create those beautiful flowers from those. And then finally, put that around the right way, so you can see that these are your swirls. These are little sparkles that are already in place so that to create these swirls for you, so you don't have to worry about doing that, so that you just end up popping them as a little bit of embellishment on your decorations. So those are all the dies and bits and pieces, but we also have got your small paper pad, is that 8 by 8?
6 by 6.
6 by 6. Why was I doubting myself? I thought it was 6 by 6. So your 6 by 6 paper pad. You've also got your linen cardstock in all of those beautiful colours, so the sort of purples and the greens and the pinks. And then you've also got your 12 by 12 paper pad. So if I hold this up so you can see what those papers look like, they are absolutely beautiful.
I love how you've got odd little silhouettes of the dies going. Look at that one. Look at that with the swans.
That is lovely, isn't it?
And they're double-sided, and there's gold flecks through some of the designs.
Yeah. And some script on the back as well, which is, I'm assuming the script is about a fairy tale. I will have a look in a moment. But really, really pretty colours. And they're all the kind of colours that, if you were, if you think back to being a child, being a little girl, I wanted to be a princess. I wanted to live in a big castle and get married to a prince. Not kiss too many frogs. This is the kind of designs that I would have loved to use. So double-sided papers as always. So you've got a sort of a more busy side on one side and a sort of plainer side on the other, but they are absolutely beautiful. This collection is just stunning.
So I've taken the outside die off because I don't need it, and I've just popped it over onto my embossing mat, and all I've done is I've taken my magnetic shim out because we've got the embossing mat in, so we don't need the magnetic shim as well. Otherwise, our plate combination would be too much. So let's just move those out of the way, otherwise we're going to end up. I have the paper pad on my desk. It is so beautiful. But, what does this remind you of? Have you had an event, or, does it remind you of your wedding, or, whatever? It'd be absolutely lovely to hear. So I'm just going to tap out some of these larger pieces just there, and then you can see where it's gone. It's really pushed it down.
Oh, yes.
Into the die just round here. So that should fit with a nice white border again. That's going to go on there. But I mean, look at that. So far, so pretty. We're going to take our gorgeous little princess. She's going to go, oh, what happened to that sticky pad there? She's going to go on there. Yeah, Becky going off
to Sainsbury's.
Yeah. Now, I've used one of the stamps, and I stamped it with Magic Potion, and I could heat emboss it. Because they're pearlescent, they heat embossed. Now, this isn't the ribbon out of the pack, just because I wanted some solid ribbon. So I've just popped a satiny ribbon just there, and then that's my first one. Now, if that doesn't say fairy tale, I don't know what does.
No, that absolutely. Oh,
can you imagine that as a party invitation?
Oh yeah, I want to go to that party. Definitely. Yeah. That's really beautiful.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Love that. It's a really pretty collection. All the colours work really well together, and I think we often find that, don't they, with the paper pads that they're created here. They work so well, and you can definitely see if you've got other collections, you can start adding elements to them. There's nothing to stop you from adding some of the dies that you've got from other collections with these paper pads, and sort of creating almost sort of a wisteria look, once upon a time kind of idea on them. So these are really beautiful, and I think it's great being able to do these first look shows, so you can get sort of a sneaky peek about what's going to be coming along a little bit later. So I do hope you've enjoyed that.